So what do you basically do at Make My Garden?
Make My Garden Nursery and Garden Center is a home for 500 plus varieties of plants. Some people, hesitate from gardening or go for artificial plants
Yes.
because, they don't know how to maintain it. So that's where we say, मैं हूं ना.
This is one of the major concerns for everyone, that pest is a major concern, right? People don't want to, they think twice going for the gardening.
Make sure you wear some good glasses.
Yeah.
Garlic, ginger, chili, right?
Mm.
Some people think, all bugs are bad, right? Which is not good. I mean, I'll talk about couple of bugs. Let's say a spider, right? If you see a spider in your garden, that's a symbol that you're not using too many pesticides. So don't get alarmed if you see a spider, it's part of the nature. And one of the best bugs, right? You can attract that bug only if you keep your garden very natural, free of any chemical nutrients or pesticide, is ladybug.
So today's day, people are moving towards the kitchen garden because of the organic, they want to eat the organic produce because they know what's happening, around them. Too much of chemicals and pesticides are being used. So that is one of the reason why people want to, invest on kitchen gardening, have their own space. So urban kitchen gardening is what we call it as. So how far is it working, and what are the vegetables we can grow easily in that place? So AI can also be, one of the design assistants for you, right? Welcome to another episode of High and Wide. Today, we are joined by someone who's taken a leap from building a health tech company to growing something literally from the ground up. Mr. Ashish Buttada, who is the founder of Make My Garden. Ashish is enabling city dwellers to reconnect with nature through his personalized gardening services. Welcome, Ashish. Welcome to High and Wide. It's really great to have you here today.
Same here, Sukhita. Thank you for inviting me.
Ashish, when I met you for the first time, no, it was the second time, I guess. So I actually met you at your Make My Garden Center.
Correct.
Okay, so generally I'm a person who actually sees the flowers when I visit the gardens, okay? But when I was seeing the gardens, you actually told me, Sukita, see the plants, green plants, only with the green plants. And you were actually, telling me about the snake plant. Okay, so then I understood, okay, it's not only the passion, it's the within love you have for the plants, probably, made you to make My Garden today, right?
Right.
And gardening business is itself a very much unstructured in India, right? So why did you get into the gardening business?
So to tell you a story about how Make My Garden started. Earlier, I had a healthcare venture, which I had sold to Portia Medical, and gardening was a passion. My gardener, who used to come every week for maintenance, once he asked, "Ki, sir, और कुछ काम मिल सकता है क्या? I really need some work." So I referred him to my neighbor who had shifted to a different apartment complex. She liked his work. She put in her WhatsApp group. And within a week, he got like 15, 20 inquiries and 5, 6 conversions. So that's where I thought, there definitely seems to be some demand supply gap somewhere. So earlier, I was into home health services. I thought, why not consider home gardening services? Instead of packing oxygen, which I did in my last business, right? Why not produce oxygen?
Yeah.
And that's how Make My Garden was born.
Okay, nice. Generally, people with passion, probably they'll do gardening at their home or something like that. But actually turning it into a business is a great thing, sir.
Definitely a leap of faith. Yeah. And happy.
So what do you basically do at Make My Garden?
So people can, connect with us for different variety of reasons, right? Make My Garden Nursery and Garden Center is a home for 500 plus varieties of plants, different types of pots, gardening essentials, decor items. So if you just want to walk in and, shop for a few plants, few pots, right? You can come to our garden center. Or if you want to set up your garden or just make it over, upgrade it, whether you have a 2 BHK, just balcony, or you have a terrace, villa with backyard and front yard, right? We are happy to send a person to your place, look at the sunlight, the space, understand your interest, and give you a full-fledged plan and set it up your whole garden. Then if you just want help with maintaining your garden, just a weekly or monthly, a help with gardener, we provide that services as well. And last but not the least, if you also want to conduct some gardening event, we had a nature jam at our garden center. People came for celebrating their birthday parties. So all these kind of gardening events, also happen at our garden center.
You give the consultation, you set up the garden services, you also do the services, maintenance services, right? So for
Correct.
how long you give the maintenance services?
So as long as customer needs, right? Because
Mm.
Sukhi, a lot of people, their problem is, they have passion, they even have money, but they don't have expertise or time, right?
Mm.
And garden is such a thing that, just एक बार set कर दिया तो बस नहीं है. You have to keep tending to the garden, keep
Mm.
look for pest management, nutrient management, cutting, trimming, right? Which require both expertise as well as manual labor.
Mm.
Some people, hesitate from gardening or go for artificial plants
Yes.
because, they don't know how to maintain it. So that's where we say, मैं हूं ना.
Yeah, right. I mean, generally, this is one of the major concerns for everyone, that pest is a major concern, right? People don't want to, they think twice going for the gardening, right? That is majorly because of the pest. So, what is that natural remedies you suggest for people around?
So one of the most common pest is millibug, right? You'll see that white sticky bugs, especially under the leaves of the plants, right?
Hmm.
So a best home remedy for millibug is we call it 3G mix.
Okay.
3G stand for ginger, garlic, green chili, right?
Okay.
So you take those equal amount, crush them, you soak them in water in a thin cotton cloth, and then after overnight soaking, you squeeze it out, all the liquid, dilute it 1:1, and then spray it on all the plants, including the underneath of the leaves. Make sure you wear some good glasses.
Yeah.
Garlic, ginger, chili, right?
Yeah.
So that's an excellent
Okay.
treatment for millibugs.
Okay. What are your major challenges basically? Is this the people you have to manage with, or the the education which people hold regarding the gardening services? So what is the major challenges you are facing?
So, like every business, right, manpower, of course, is a ongoing challenge.
Yeah.
However, another one I would say it's like the learning or unlearning,
Hmm.
because people come with traditional beliefs, right?
Hmm.
Even those who have done some gardening elsewhere, they know the chemical nutrients, right? Quick use of DAP, diammonium phosphate. So, telling them organic methods are also equally effective, right? You should go conservative, natural, organic. It's a bit of training, and over the time, with repeated, consistent training, they come over.
When you give consultation, when you start the gardening services, you consult your customers, right? So what is the basic start while doing the consultation? Is it more towards, people approach you more towards the nature? I mean, they like the, beauty about the nature, that's why they approach you, or probably more of the health benefits?
So, see, everyone is different. Gardening is one thing, Sukita, where people love to see other gardeners, but nobody says, I want a garden exactly like that
Yeah.
neighbor, right?
Hmm.
They want it customized, right? And I also think the beauty is in the eyes of beholder, right?
Hmm.
For some people, growing herbs which they can utilize in their morning tea, or growing their kitchen garden and vegetables for daily usage brings lot more joy, right? So they can do that, and those plants can also look beautiful. A tomato plant with tomatoes hanging right
Right.
in your garden, or a fruit grafted fruit plant where you have your chicos or your pomegranates hanging, they look beautiful along with the functionality. At the same time, somebody who wants a low maintenance garden, right? They also do not have enough sunlight, right? They can go for a lot of ornamental plants, right?
Okay.
Which the leaves look beautiful throughout. And again, you don't have to stick to green. There are so many colors of leaves, so many
Yeah.
patterns,
Yeah.
different thickness, different size. If you go for different varieties of dracaenas, philodendron, pothos, which are all shade-loving variety, right?
Okay.
So although I mean you see the beauty aspect, but they also are high on air purification. They absorb pollutants, thus making the air around you more pure. So there are health benefits from beautiful plants as well.
Okay.
And
Any native plant you would suggest which is more important for the ecosystem?
so there are quite a few native plants, right, around Bangalore. Every region has its different, right? If you think about, let's say, land or the roads, right? In Bangalore, there is something called ghasgasia or Singapore cherry. That's a native plant, right?
Okay.
So in house plants also there are some native plants. We believe in like holistic gardening. So native plants is great, but sometimes you also want some other plants which are non-native. But if you can grow them in your garden, then why not give it a try, right?
Okay.
You can grow some fruits and vegetables, you can grow some herbs, you can get some puja flowers from your garden. You can also get some ornamental air purifying plant, even indoor, right? To give you those kind of
क्या
benefits.
तुलसी नेटिव प्लांट में आ सकता है?
Tulsi is native plant, yes. Yeah.
And basically the indoor plants, I mean, my experience from the indoor plants is that maintaining indoor plants has become very difficult. You know, making it live for a longer time becomes difficult comparative to the outdoor plants. So is this the same situation, people coming to you?
So sometimes yes, right? Sometimes people have problems both. But the indoor plant का problem ऐसा है कि sometimes it's a wrong choice of plants. Uh, People sometimes think that only flowering plants are beautiful, right? And all kind of flowering plants, majority, there are some exception like peace lily or African violets you can grow indoors also, but most flowers need sunlight and they need to be outdoor. So indoor plants are different, right? Some palm varieties, some philodendron, some money plant varieties, snake plants, these can go great indoor. So even if you're putting indoor, we suggest couple of things. Put it next to a door or window where you have some indirect reflected light. So the plant does great. Secondly, also give some nitrogen based fertilizer once in 15 days on the leaves. So there is a good growth. And another quick hack for indoor plant is just mist. Just misting water on all the leaves of the indoor plant, even on a daily basis.
That will help?
It will keep them fresh. They'll love that. Yeah.
Okay. Any indoor plants you would suggest which is for the good air purifier?
So some of the top three, air purification plants are like, Erica palm, money plant, snake plant. So palms I'll avoid, but different varieties of snake plants are great. Different varieties of pothos or money plants, they are great. You can also have some kind of calatheas, some kind of not cheflera.
What are the indoor plants you have at your place?
So I have some syngoniums, I have some snake plants.
Okay.
I also had a monstera indoor. I had a fiddle leaf.
And what is the benefits of these? All are air purifiers?
Aesthetics is definitely one, and majority of the indoor plants also get classified into air purifying plants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me some myths about what you have heard about the plants and you think, okay, these are not the myths, but people are following it?
Right. So several, right? People think, all plants require sunlight, right? Which we just spoke, not true. You can select right plant for your indoor environments also. Otherwise, some people think, all bugs are bad, right? Which is not good. I mean, I'll talk about couple of bugs. Let's say a spider, right? If you see a spider in your garden, that's a symbol that you're not using too many pesticides. Your garden is more natural.
Oh, nice.
So don't get alarmed if you see a spider, it's part of the nature. And one of the best bugs, right? You can attract that bug only if you keep your garden very natural, free of any chemical nutrients or pesticide, is ladybug. Okay. And the ladybug usually comes to eat some kind of the millibug we spoke about, right? It comes to eat the millibug. So it preys on the millibug and it helps your garden and it looks beautiful. So some of these kind of bugs, earthworms, right? They're great for tilling the soil. So there are some good bugs also.
Okay. Now there is a lot of buzz around no digging gardening. So anything you have to say about it? Are you, applying things in the garden?
Correct. So, I mean, that is one of the technique that comes into natural farming, right? When you dig the soil, you are essentially disturbing the microorganism structure under the soil. I mean, the earthworms or some fungi or some bacteria, right? You're disturbing. So, people who believe in keeping nature as it is, they try some of this, no digging. So understand the roots of the plant need some kind of support. So if you're not digging to insert the roots, you have to layer up. So use the soil, the leaves, the mulching method to create the support for the roots. That's how the forests are grown, right? Nobody goes dig the hole and plant
Correct.
something.
It comes on its own.
Comes on its own, and the leaves falling creates that upper layer and mulch. So there are benefits of that also, that
But can we grow in any kind of plants in that case?
So where you don't require too much support to the roots, I mean some simple kitchen garden plants, vegetable plants, no problem, you can try that method. Right, it requires more patience, but also it's closer to the natural farming.
Right. So today's day, people are moving towards the kitchen garden because of the organic, they want to eat the organic produce because they know what's happening, around them. Too much of chemicals and pesticides have been used. So that is one of the reason why people want to, invest on kitchen gardening, have their own space. So urban kitchen gardening is what we call it as. So how far is it working, and what are the vegetables we can grow easily in that case?
Correct. No, urban gardening is doing great. People, especially those who have terraces or they have front yard, backyard, good sunlight. I would say it's almost a crime not to utilize that space to also grow some of the vegetables, right? They are, because you're growing them, and if you grow them without chemical nutrients or harmful pesticides, right, then they are more organic in nature. It's health benefit. Also, it's a great satisfaction, mental health benefit to grow and see consuming kitchen produce, from your own garden. So
that's a great satisfaction. Okay, even if you grow one chili and you use that chili in your cooking, it's a great satisfaction.
Absolutely. There are some. So in terms of what's easy, I would say some of the green leafy vegetables is pretty easy, right? You have palak, coriander, spinach. You can grow those. Some of the easy vegetable plants are like tomatoes, brinjal, chili. They also come pretty fast and give you regular produce. Some of the herb plants like rosemary, ajwain, or doddapatra. Uh, those are easy plant. Lemongrass, you can utilize in your tea or in your cooking also. Italian and Thai recipes use thyme, rosemary. So these are pretty friendly to grow at home.
Okay. Something else is also which is trending now is the hydroponic gardening, right? So do you have used in your gardening services?
Understand, Sukita, where labor is very, very expensive, that's where, hydroponic, right, comes in place. In a poly house, small space, right? So space shortage, labor shortage, it's a great way to use technology and grow. It's a little expensive technique right now, but, commercially, if you've done, then you can cost optimize and you can produce and do it. But at the home level, it's not that cost effective, and it's not that friendly where it's very low maintenance. So at home level, I would not highly recommend. If somebody wants a vertical wall or something, you can still have a vertical wall with metal frames and pots and potting media than going for hydroponic.
Okay, just out of curiosity, produce which is grown by the hydroponic method, how is the taste of those produces than soil grown produce?
So taste is pretty good. I mean, understand, because in the hydroponic, the nutrients are uh, gone through the water, and because we are not using any soil, right? There is no soil-borne pest, so we actually don't need to use any pesticides, right? So whenever you don't use pesticides and you are minimal nutrient, right? The taste is more original and more organic. So taste is definitely great.
Okay. So do you also enable any tech-based enabling in your gardening services?
So, see, I mean, a lot of our services are, home gardening services, right? There are people talk about tech element, right? That I can sit in my office and I can still know what is the humidity level with the sensor in my plant, when the drip irrigation system should turn on and water, and so on and so forth. Okay. People talk about it. They get, fantasize with that. Not a lot of time people are willing to pay, but my recipe, or my advice to them is gardening at home should be used to get away from so many tech tools that you're surrounded by,
Correct.
right? If you want to see
Mm.
screenshots of your plant, then what's the use of garden,
Mm.
right? We tell people, don't do drip irrigation, get out in your garden, see how the plants are doing, water the plants yourself, right? That's a meditation.
Mm.
See what are the changes of your plant, right? Every day morning, going and seeing if there is a new flower is blooming,
Yeah.
or there is a pest coming on your plant, or you just got first few flowers in the tomato plant, right? It's a great satisfaction.
Mm.
So I suggest gardening to get away from the tech.
I know. But I feel it is difficult in this era because even to switch on a fan, we use the remotes these days. But yeah, as you said, we should actually get away from the tech and go towards more of nature.
Right.
Right. So, how is AI being used in your services, gardening services? Because we have a lot of apps these days which actually tells what plant it is, what disease it has got, and what's the cure of it.
Right.
Right. So, how do you see that?
Right. I think, like many other businesses, right? I think AI can be and should be used as an assistance, right?
Mm.
So AI can, where there is a lack of knowledge, right?
Mm.
And you cannot get access to quickly to a person, who can really tell about
Mm.
what is that disease and how to treat that. That's where AI can be very friendly, very helpful. Just based on the images, it can identify the disease and the solution, right? So that's where AI can come handy. In terms of the work involved, right? Gardening, there's still a lot of manual work is required in terms of tending to plants and cutting, pruning, de-weeding, soil loosening, etc. So gardening services still have a role. Gardeners still have a big role, and AI can come handy as a technical guide for them.
Okay. So while you give consultation, like for the landscaping and all of that, so AI can also be, one of the design assistants for you, right? Have you ever used it in that way?
Yes, yes, very much so. Right? For example, even you can do that, with a simple free version of Chat GPT. If you take a picture of your balcony and give it to Chat GPT and tell them, plan a garden, and you can even give some few quick instruction. I want some hanging plants, I want something railing, I want more green or colorful. And within few minutes, AI would actually design a garden for your balcony.
Okay.
And we can use different iterations, right? Until you're very happy with the design that you see, and then work on executing that design yourself.
Yeah, so completely relying on AI won't be the right choice also because as you said, don't rely on tech, go towards more of nature. You actually, get yourselves involved to it. So
True.
we can only take it as an assistance.
Yes.
Right. So recently I read this article where in Vijayawada there is one district, okay, in the collector office they started one initiative wherein they are growing a kitchen garden in their own collector office. Okay, through a natural farming process with Jivamrit and all this. So this initiative, what do you think about this initiative?
I think these are great, community initiatives, right? And I bet they must be using the produce for their own employees, right?
Yes.
So it actually, it's a great employee bonding, team bonding activity. And especially when you're using organic methods, right? You definitely get the health benefits, right? And you're utilizing the space for something productive. And I think a lot of these things can be done in private basis also, especially in cities where people have large terraces, right? Or front yard or backyard, good sunlight. I would say it's almost a crime not to utilize that space to grow some, kitchen garden or vegetables. So it can be done. It can be done at a community level. Apartment communities, their terraces can be used, right? Offices, office buildings, right? Their terraces can be used for kitchen gardening as well as, growing some herbs. Employees can participate in those gardening activities, that is coming together, bonding, meditating, uh, as they say, every 30 minutes of work, you should actually look at some green plants, right? And that actually improves your productivity. So if you take such short breaks. I think instead of smoking breaks, if we take, gardening breaks, right?
Yeah.
It'll be so much healthy. Think about
It
that.
helps the nature as well as us.
Exactly.
So, what is the advice you would like to give for someone who wants to start it as a hobby, who has an hobby of gardening,
Mhm.
and then he wants to turn it into a business? So, what's the advice you would give to them?
Sure. So, see, all great businesses start in somebody's garage, right? So, first thing I would say, right, if it's a new idea, start from your home, right? You don't need to have expensive rentals to try that. Use your families and friends, right? Gardening, any kind of home decor are such businesses where every single person can be your client. And your friends and family, some of them will encourage you, buy produce, but more often than that, they would be happy to market it to their circles, right? And get you more. Social media like your Instagram and all, they are great tools to market your products, get your initial first few clients, right? um, an experiment, right?
Okay.
You're trying something from home. It's easy at the pilot level to experiment, come up with different designs until you find something that is sellable and people are willing to pay the price for you to make the margins. And once you have figured that out, scale up, right? Get the team, get the place, and
Yeah.
go with the flow.
Right. So basically, these days in home interiors and all that, the builders themselves, for the psychological purpose and being stress free, right? They're including a lot of plans in the interiors itself. So, how are you supporting that?
So some of the builders are definitely doing some planter boxes in balconies and all. But more than builders, I have come across architects, interior designers who are using green element as part of their interior decoration. And that's great. We have recently done some villas, one where a client wanted to see greenery or some plantation anywhere and everywhere they look. Another one, couple of projects where, people had designed indoor courtyards inside the living room, right? There is a large planter box where we have put a collection of plants, a big signature plant, some median colorful plants, and again, then ground plants. So, it looks like a mini jungle in your living room. I think there's several benefits. Of course, it's a different kind of interior decoration, interior design, where you're seeing natural elements. There is always some change, right? Sometimes some of the plants you change, or leaves color change, or there is a growth. Then third, you also have the air purification benefits. There is more oxygen. So using those indoor plants, as a part of interior is also stress buster. Great stress relieving, right? You
That
can.
case, बार-बार ट्रिप में जाने की जरूरत नहीं और home itself is a stress buster.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we'll go for the quick questions. You have to answer quickly.
Rapid fire, huh?
Yeah, kind of it.
Coffee with karma. I don't see any coffee.
रख देते हैं. Okay, sir. What was the very first plant you ever grew and what happened to it?
Well, I have seen my dad planting a lot of roses. We were living in Solapur, Maharashtra. He got a lot of roses from Bangalore and planted in Solapur. But because of the heat and not the right sunlight, some of them did well, some of them, died.
Okay.
Other, my quick experience, I would say ajwain, doddapatra.
Okay.
I used to love those leaves because my mom made pakodas. So that, simple,
Ajwain ka pakoda.
ajwain ka
Okay,
pakoda.
okay. Huh.
Simple cutting and, making a new plant out of it. That was a successful, easy experiment.
Okay. What's your trick to making a garden look beautiful year round?
I think, simple hack of, removing the dry leaves and dry flowers. If you do that, plant saves energy, surviving those, and also aesthetics, look good.
Okay. Your favorite plant to grow?
I love some of the philodendron varieties. They have large leaves, right? So quickly, they can fill up the space. Some philodendron, like, oxycadiums and all, also have aerial roots. So you can let them grow on the walls and, almost go touch the roofs.
Okay. So one plant you actually, while doing the consultation, you tell this plant is what you should include.
I love some color adding plants, right?
Okay.
There's some Schefflera, some Dracena varieties that bring, different brighter colors other than green.
One plant you will never grow.
The weed, right? Because recently I heard a Bangalore couple got caught and got jailed,
Ah.
so I will not grow that.
Most overrated gardening tool.
Most overrated. Well, let me say most underrated gardening tool, and that will be your hands, right?
Ah.
You know, the Indian surgeons are very popular in UK, because they, famous surgeon has said, in our childhood, we are used to eat with our fingers and not forks and spoons, right? So your hand for anything, you're planting, digging, different thing, hands are more effective, more precise, and also they give you that satisfaction. When you're touching the soil, it has direct connection with your well-being. So let's use our hands more and more, and let's teach that to our kids.
Yeah.
Right? It's not making your hands dirty. It's actually getting closer to nature.
Best gardening book you recommend?
Instagram.
Right. Favorite plant smell?
I love some of the herb plants smell like rosemary, even allspice. And allspice can give you a smell of nutmeg, black pepper, clove, and cinnamon. And you can use it almost like a curry leaf in your curries, biryani.
Biryani when you give.
Biryani, yes, yeah.
Quickest vegetable you can grow?
I'd say spinach.
Ever done moon gardening?
Not tried myself. I'm looking at the moon phases and growing. I think too much work. No.
For beginners, what are the plants you would recommend?
I think go for the easy maintenance plants, snake plants, different varieties of money plants. If you have to go for flowering, then some jasmine varieties.
Okay. I think initially it should be more of easy maintenance because, once you can't maintain, people will not again go for the weather plant.
Yeah. And don't go to kitchen gardening directly. That requires a lot more patience. So, go with the ornamental, low maintenance plants first.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Today episode, I mean, the knowledge which you could share with us was very, impressive. We could learn a lot of things from you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure, Sukita, and let's do some more.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. There's a lot of things to still, we need to, talk about. So probably we'll have another episode and probably we can talk.
Yeah, I always tell, gardening is a journey, not a destination.
Yes.
So keep enjoying the phases of gardening.
Yeah. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.